Hi guys. It's been quite a long time, huh? Um, I'm working now, and I worked the last 2 days. I got this week off, and I'm working on weekend at night. But guess you can't win. But I figure I'd go on today for a little bit and show you guys. We're gonna paint. Right now, I don't. I have an empty palette. It has no colors on it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some colors on it. First of all, I'm going to put yellow. Just put very little because if you put too much, you're going to waste a lot of paint. And blue. And then I'm going to put this color. It's a flamingo coral. That's going to be a different color today. Um, and I got to make sure I close the lids because they do dry up. And a lot of my paint did dry up, like this one, for instance. Um, and if that happens, usually when I open the lid, it comes out, usually. But we'll see what happens. That's what I get for leaving the lids open. Whoa, that one came out too quick. That's how much I got. I'm not supposed to get that much, but what we're going to do, actually, I forgot white. I need white on there too. I always use white for any type of painting because white makes the color lighter and it's not so dark. So first of all, this is 11 by 14 canvas, which I hardly ever use on YouTube, but I figured I could do that today since I haven't been on YouTube for a while. So um, I don't know at this point what I'm going to paint, so bear with me. I haven't really had a chance to decide because my schedule's so busy now and I just don't do much painting anymore. And when I don't do much painting anymore, it's kind of hard to decide what you want to paint. So we'll just go with the flow here. I might remember what, I might know what to paint once I get to the sort of the bottom of the canvas. So now we're going to add yellow. I think yellow and blue are like pretty colors. It turns green as you could see. Um, yeah, yellow and blue make it turn green, but that's okay. I can always use green. And then we're gonna add the coral and see what happens. Right now we're just pretty much playing around with colors, so it doesn't matter if it's anything or if you want it to be something and it's not. It's just playing around right now. Take the coral down close to the bottom. I didn't wash my brush, you guys. I still am painting with a dirty brush. So, as you can tell, I'm painting all the way down. Now I'm using just white. Now, when you use the white with the dirty brush, it will come up with all colors that you used previously. So don't fret about that because white just makes the colors come out like that. So um, there's no reason to get scared about it or anything. Now, now what you can do, this is a, what is this? It's a Crayola brush. It's one of the new brushes. And Crayola makes those kind of brushes, which is pretty cool. So now, what I'm going to do is use another, well, use a flat brush. This one's a number 8. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like kind of go. I'm gonna kind of make hills, I guess, or maybe mountains. Now, as you can see, these mountains are not as all straight. And of course, they're not supposed to be straight on top. It's supposed to be kind of curvy. And I am using the color that I put too much on. So, because I don't like using a lot of paint on my palette, so it just wastes the paint and it dries out and then you can't use anymore. So I try to use a lot less paint. Of course, this color is not really my favorite, but no, I don't know if those. Well, I guess they could be hills. They don't have to be mountains because mountains are kind of curvy. See, when you put too much paint on your brush, it also drips. So try not to put too much paint on your brush unless you want it to drip. Mine is already dripping. So catch the drip before it goes any farther. Put too much paint. Pretty cool. Now the tricky part. I'm going to put a little bit of blue in there. It's kind of like a highlight, I guess you could say. Mountains have highlights and a lot of stuff I try to highlight. Make it look really cool. It does look pretty cool now. As you can see, a lot of my paintings are landscapes. Um, and of course, I know how to paint some animals, not very many. I like to learn how to paint animals. Because I like animals and I like to watch them and stuff. Um, but anyway, that's my, now that thing right here, um, that's green. It's supposed to be yellow, but it turned green because of the blue that was in there. So I'm going to try to go over that. Now, very lightly go over it. You don't want to go over it too much because even though it is green, that's okay because, you don't have to have blue clouds all the time or blue sky all the time. You can have different colors. Um, some people some people paint red, white, and blue sky, the American flag, and some paint different color sky. It doesn't necessarily have to be all blue. You can if you want, but I kind of prefer color sky. That's still pretty. It looks like kind of like the sunrise or sunset. I'm gonna wash my brush. Then I'm gonna put I'm gonna go over this orange again. It's actually coral, but I call it kind of orange. Yeah, you just go over it because if you put layers on it, it makes it look really cool. I noticed that just now. because I usually don't put any layers. I just put first layer and that's it. But I wanted to see what would turn out to be when I do that. So, oh, that's pretty. That's a sun. That's a sunset or sunrise, whatever you can call it, whatever you want. And there's my half my picture right there. Um, Later on, or in a few minutes, I'll probably make some clouds. And what we can do down here, I was thinking maybe, um, uh, uh, I was thinking maybe green part down there, make it look all green, lush. Because I do like green. I like what green landscapes. I like everything that's green. I mean, green trees, green landscapes. And you just put it down here. This this tube green is kind of thick, thicker than my rest of the paint. But that's okay. Thicker it gets, better. So just take the green and go way down to the bottom. And you can either, well, actually I should tap the green on. Makes it look like grass. It's not too late to tap it on if you started by going back and forth. It's not too late. You can still tap it on. I haven't painted for so long, it seems like forever. And when I don't paint for a long time, I I lose the groove. I mean, I just it's like I can't remember how to paint because I haven't painted for so long. And your memory's so focused on other things like your job, and your memory just goes kaput when it comes to painting. So I'm hoping you guys like this painting because I'm doing the best I can here. I usually make like rivers around the mountain, but I wanted something green around the mountains, so I'm painting green valley, I guess you would say. It's not hard. You tap, 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 tap on it. Um, Painting is pretty easy still, even though I forget kind of how to paint. But it's easy. I just make myself I act like sometimes I act like I can't do it or whatever, and I try not to do that because I want to be able to say that you guys can do it. What I'm doing is I'm adding white to the fan brush and just going up like that. Just white. Nothing else, just white. It's fan brushes. I kind of like them a little bit. I'm not too fond of painting with them because they make me nervous. So if you paint it wrong or whatever, it's like it doesn't cooperate with you. And I guess I'm doing good on this one here. You just keep adding white and going up. It's supposed to be like grass, I guess. And that's only part of the grass. I'm not going to paint the whole field with white grass because I want to be able to um, save some paint for my clouds. Um, let's see what I'm going to use for clouds here. I can use this one for clouds. This one's a number 8 also. But what I'm going to do is when I do clouds, I don't hardly push on my paintbrush too much. And I just keep going. And this side, yeah, just barely tap on your paintbrush. It makes better, I think it makes better clouds when you barely tap on your paintbrush. Well, maybe that one kind of, I don't want to go white. Yeah, don't be afraid if you mess up because that's all part of the painting process. And there's that cloud, and there's that cloud. Um, I can make a couple clouds like right here. Oh, when you get closer to the mountain, don't make big, huge cloud because it's a farther distance away, so it doesn't really need to be big. There we got my clouds, my mountain, my grass. Um, I could make a tree. How I do that is I get a thick, thin brush like this. Of course, I need brown. And to make a tree, I always use brown because the trunk is brown, the branches are brown, so I always try to use brown. What you do is you start on the bottom and you go up, 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 up. And you twirl your brush, like make it real thin on the top. And then you go like this to make the branches. And the branches are not straight, as you can see. With trees, the branches are never straight. Yeah, branches are supposed to be kind of thin. Like I said, don't be afraid if you mess up, because that's all part of painting. If you don't mess up, then how are you going to learn? And what I do is I barely make more branches off the other branch. I can't even remember how long I painted, but it was about probably maybe 2.5 years now. So I've been painting quite some time, and of course I haven't been on YouTube that much. I've been so busy, and I just haven't been having time. And yes, I do miss it sometimes. Actually, do miss a lot. But I have a job now. I'm making fairly good money, and I'm getting tips, so that helps me out a little bit. Um, I always tell everybody, why don't you pay it forward? Like that movie, Pay It Forward. I love that movie. Um, now I gotta find the. Well, actually, I can do my own for the. There's that big stroke brush. What happened to it? Oh, I'm trying to find a big brush I just used. Okay. Uh, well, um, oh, here it is. Didn't use it yet. Okay, with this, I use this brush, and I just tap it on the brown and barely tap it. Tap it, release. You won't be able to see it yet because it's brown, but um, I'll put green on there soon. Okay, now I gotta find the green. Um, let's see. Usually I got everything around me, but um, well, maybe I don't have any. Well, wait, no, I'll just use this green again. Well, maybe not. No. Um, I gotta find a green that doesn't match the ground, otherwise it's gonna hide the. That's yellow. Otherwise it's gonna hide the ground part. You don't want to do that. So found green, and now use this brush. Use the same brush you use for the branches or for the leaves. I mean, and you barely tap. That's how you do the leaves. People do love my trees. They say, "How do you do it?" I said, "I'm like, I don't know. I just do it. It it falls out in my mind, and I barely tap on the brush. That's all I do, and it makes beautiful leaves. Put some down here, up here, up here. And make sure this tree is covered with leaves, because it's going to be it's basically a summer tree. It's not quite a fall tree yet, so I try to go by the seasons instead of just going by anything. Um, I got too many brushes out. I don't like dealing with a lot of brushes, but trying to deal with these brushes first. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add rocks. That's a big rock. And I'm using a flat brush for this. It's not very easy to use a flat brush for something like this, but it works. Like I said, be comfortable whatever brush you use. Make sure you're comfortable with it. If you're not, use something else. Use something that you are comfortable with. Now another rock I'm gonna put right here. I'm so glad I can do this with you guys. It makes me feel confident. It makes me feel joyful that I can do this with you guys. Because it's been quite a while. It's been a long time. And I try to do this with you guys so often. And I don't know. I'm going to have one more rock over here. This one's going to be another big one. I always like to make bigger rocks because they're easier to make. Small ones are kind of hard. Well, I guess not, but I just rather make it easy for me today. And then you add white on top. That's kind of the highlight. And then if you want, you can add more brown. Make it kind of, I don't know. So this is my landscape. Um, Now what you want to do is kind of make a shadow underneath. Doesn't have to be a perfect shadow. I mean, it can be good shadow. There's my shadow for that, and my shadow for that. And but that's my landscape so far. What I like to do too is I like to paint houses. Well, of course, I don't have the right brush for a house. Yeah, small brush. I'm gonna try to use this for a house. Now, with the house, I usually paint it red, but today I'm gonna paint it like a coral color. Actually, you can paint a house have it whatever color you want, but I'm gonna use coral. These are um, distant houses, so when they're distant like that, you don't really need to put any high detail on it. Just color it in, and you can still tell it's a house. The roof is kind of weird. And there's one house. Personally, I wish I worked today and tomorrow, but I mean, I just started the job and already they're having me have that many days off. I remember when I used to be working, they used to give me 40 hours the first week when I first started working. That was not this job, but it was a different job, and they used to give me 40 hours a week just to train me. I guess they don't do that anymore. I guess you're just on, I think I'm on like, well, I'm still good, about 27, I think, which isn't too bad. You know how when you first start your job, you're always nervous and you don't know what to expect. Well, that's how I was when I first started my job. I was like really nervous. I always get that way when I have a new job. And I think everybody feels that way. I mean, it's normal. It's normal to be nervous about things like that. It really is. It just takes time to get used to, especially the hours that I have to work. I have to get used to it. Like I really have a choice. But now what I want to do is put white on the roof and kind of around the house. Since I'm not really detailing it right now, I'm just gonna use white for the roof and the side of the house. Like I said, you can use whatever color you want for a house. I mean, it could be red, it could be blue, it could be green, it could be any color you want. You don't have to really necessarily do the color I do. This is just uh, my color, I guess. I a lot of times I do houses red, but today I decided to do it like this. So yeah, so these are rocks. Um, I might have to redo the rocks a little bit. I'm just gonna like do it like this and just color. I used to like do I used to do like designs all the time. Just color designs and stuff. I used to do that before I did my painting, and then I guess I got tired of it, so I decided to paint. And if I had to do designs again, I'd probably be able to do it. You know, the Zentangle designs, they're like pretty cool on paper. Um, I used to do those, and it was tough at first. It's not a very easy task, but I got used to it, and then I ended up doing it, and I stopped doing it. All of a sudden, I stopped doing it because I thought painting was cool, so I decided to paint instead. Um, which is fine. People have their preference on what they want to do. Well, a lot of people might like drawing better than painting, or they'll probably like anything better than painting. I'm just gonna put the windows in. I'm not really gonna do the door, just some windows, since I already got yellow here. Because these are far away houses, so I'm not gonna really do any doors. 'Cause you can't really see the doors anyway. So yeah, that's pretty good for not painting for a long time. But yeah, and what I usually do is I put my signature. Of course, I don't know if that's the right brush, but I put my initials. Actually, I usually put my whole name, but with this, I just put initials. So yeah, so now I'm gonna kind of put some white on the mountains, make it look kind of cooler. Maybe. Like I said, don't be afraid to make a mistake. Because everybody makes mistakes. Even I make mistakes. I try not to add too much white either. And that's kind of hard to do, not to add too much. But, so, that side got snow on top. Even though it's a summer painting, but there can always be snow on top of the mountain. Doesn't matter what month it is, what season it is, always have snow. So I hope everybody likes my painting. Shoot, there's still a few things I have to do yet. Um, Let me finish all this and then I'll have to go. So there's a few things I have to do before everything closes down. Um, oh, I'm just adding more grass here. So that way it'll look more like grass, not just green, not just green, uh, brown. Now this grass here is kind of long. I like, sometimes I like long grass. Of course, I don't walk in long grass, but I like it. Here we have so many weeds that grow real fast. Um, Around here, there's so many weeds that grow so fast, it's hard to keep up with them. It's crazy, but yeah, so anyway, I guess that's it for me. So, see you around. Take care. Subscribe to my channel, even if I'm not on that much. It really would help me out, and I would really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this video and come back again soon. Thank you. Bye now.